So hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining this morning, this beautiful sunny morning in some parts of Europe at least, for this webinar, for this remote lesson actually. Our speaker today is Matthias Löwe, Matt, as you can see here in the video. Or maybe I can also share my camera so you can see me for a bit.
Hi.
Yes, so hi. I'm Audrey. I work at
Hi.
European Schoolnet and I'm part of the team working on the EU Code Week. I'm sure you have all heard of EU Code Week if you are joining this session, but just quickly, the Code Week is a campaign, an initiative where we want to encourage everyone in Europe to start coding, to start their first steps in coding or their second steps or third steps, so improve a bit. And we encourage all of you to add your coding event on the Code Week map, where, as of this morning, we have more than 25,000 activities, which is really, really great. So thank you for all your work. And this remote lesson is part of the online course that we are running with the Code Week. So if you are part of the course, then you might have joined already another live event and you know the format of the session, but let me just tell you quick. In this live event, we welcome teachers and sometimes teachers with their students to join and learn about how to create a game. And you can create this game together with your students throughout the session. Don't forget to also register this as an activity on the Code Week. And yes, that's all from my side. I'm going to give the word to Matt now.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into the slides. Yeah. So yeah, hi again for everyone I haven't met and people who just joined. Today we want to do a game in 1 hour, basically a 1 hour game jam. And I'm Matt, and when I'm not the ambassador for Germany for the Code Week, I'm at the same time part of the initiative Creative Gaming. And it's a kind of long story, but to make it short, we do a lot of creative things with games, as you could have guessed. For instance, doing little game design courses like these, schools, libraries, wherever we want to do cool stuff. And now you have the chance to take part in something like this as well. So, doing a game in 1 hour. Oh God, how do we do this? We have a little timetable. So first up, we're doing this introduction, nearly finished, and then I want to talk to you a bit about what games actually are, because I don't know how familiar you are with games. Most people know a couple of bigger ones, like I don't know, Fortnite, Minecraft. But there are different aspects to it as well, and I want to get to know those. And afterwards, I'll talk to you about why you should create a game. So cool that you joined, and sometimes have classes with you. Very important. And then we start actually developing a game. And as you can see, it's not really 1 hour, it's 45 minutes, maybe a bit less, but this will work out. So let's start right into it. Our games. Okay, maybe you can raise your hand in the chat if you somehow developed a game already in some part of whatever you did. So this would be cool to just see for me, that I know which audience I'm talking to. No hands? No hands is a good sign, because then we'll all learn something new. Anika, yes. Very amazing. Okay. So, games then. Games, normally you have this picture in your mind of there are some people or someone, one singular person sitting in front of some kind of screen with complicated interfaces and a controller maybe, and kind of secluded from the world around, right? So this is still this stigma, but actually games can be so much more. So I think you heard, for example, of Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is a game where you catch Pokemons, but you do this in real life. You have to go out. So you have to play outside, not at home. Um, or in Minecraft, it's not that you just play Minecraft, but it's more like a social spot. You get together, and people like here come together to rebuild the world from Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, like in a one-to-one scale, really big, to play roles there and to talk. And this is a social spot there, which is happening in the virtual reality. But at the same time, you also have games where you have a meeting spot not inside of the game, but outside. In esports, I always like this picture, it's from the ESL, very big league for online sports games. And, it basically looks like any major sport. And this is cool because people identify really strongly. And then you have installations. Now we're getting to the creative part. Something like this called Blood Bank is a game which is controlled by a lit match. And the game actually just shows the screen if you lit the match, and it plays as long as the match has fire. And if it goes out, the light goes out, the game is over. You can control the character by moving. Games also can be super poetic, like Journey. It's a game you can play in roughly 1 hour. You have to get on top of the mountain you can see there. Um, Games can also voice opinions. Dysphoria, for example, is a game about transitioning from a male to a female body. You can experience this transformation through the mechanics of the game. It feels a bit weird there. Um, and can also be a political statement. In September 12th, for example, you have this target, and then you're supposed to shoot some uh, basic terrorists. But the thing is, it's very complicated to not destroy buildings, and what happens is that you get more terrorists. So the only way to kind of not win the game, but to not make it worse, is to actually not play the game. It's yeah, political statement. So why I'm telling you this? Um, Games, that's the interesting part. They differ from other media directly in this sense. So normally you watch something, you hear something, you read something, and then you can, think about what you want to think. But in games, you have interactions, and they react to whatever decisions you take in the game. But of course, it's not a real world, right? So somebody had to program what you can do, and they also had to program what the consequences of those actions are. Those are basically the opinions of the authors. And if you're interested in that, this basically is called procedural rhetoric. It's really interesting to use games as a vehicle for your opinions. But at the same time, this leads me to the point where we are right now. Why should you create a game? So maybe if you have guessed, the problem with this is that the same authors of games lead to somehow the same creations, the same tropes, and the same opinions. So we need you. Everybody has to become an author, right? So everybody should create games so that we get a more diverse spectrum through all this. But you may say now, but Matt, don't I need to be a good programmer or a good coder for that? Yeah, uh, thanks for asking. Um, it's actually very simple. And I quickly run through a couple of tools now, and then we'll stop with the last one, and this is the one we'll do. Smiljana, I hope you somehow figured it out, because I hope everybody can see the screen, right? Yes, good. Um, so moving on. There are lots of tools right now which make it really easy to develop games, even if you don't have. Um, I try to be louder. There are lots of many tools out there which allow to create games even if you don't have any previous experience. One, for example, is the RPG Maker, the role-playing game maker. It looks like this, and you just use some tiles, put them in like a puzzle, and build your world around it, and then you have like a Zelda kind of style game. Another one would be Construct. Construct is a tool where you can drag and drop graphics in. You maybe create it on your own, and then you just click on those graphics and tell them what they are in the easiest setting. You know, you can say, this is a platform, and this is my character. He shouldn't fall through the platforms, but he has to walk on them, and he can jump, stuff like this. Um, or the adventure game studio, where you can do old school point and click adventures by having a graphic and then you say, this is the floor. And when you click on this object, then uh, this and that happens. And one more, Twine. This maybe is a bit more famous. Twine is a game where you can recreate, choose your own adventure game stories, basically. So you may notice from books, but here you write little text, and then you can have decisions, words you can click on, like you can see here on the right side, and then the story continues in different kinds of paths that you can see on the left. So it's basically just writing and doing some programming in between how the story connects. Um, Oh, right, and I forgot that one. This is a very cool tool. You can do games in like 10 minutes, but I thought, we have 1 hour, let's not do that. But here, you can just draw pictures, and depending on what color you click on, you go to another slide. So if I want to go to the other side of the house here, I have to click on the white arrow, and down there you can see white. This is linking to the sixth slide. Then you can, walk around. But if you have less time, you do that. We, on the other hand, are doing this. This is called Bitsy, and I'll explain you everything about it in a few minutes. And this is a great game because you can program in it and you can do your own graphics, but at the same time, you're super limited to the kind of pixels you have on the screen. So this will be perfect because in the end, you can download the game as an HTML file. You can send it to mobile phones, whatever you want. Okay, so yeah, let's jam, I think. Um, okay, maybe not everybody is familiar with what a jam actually is. So to just shortly get you an idea, normally lots of people get together and they have a topic and then they plan and brainstorm what can the game be about. Then they discuss all their ideas. They get sorted in groups, and then of course they develop a game. And as you can see here, it's mostly groups of 4 or 5 people because a game it's not just programming, it's also music and story and writing dialogues and graphics. So it's a group effort. So it's really important. And with Bitsy, of course, you can work in groups of 2 people already. Yeah, and finally, you play and present your game. And all those steps, we want to do them as well, but really short. So normally it takes like 1 hour to 5 days for a game jam. So now we have how many minutes? 45 minutes left. This should be enough for us. So I hope you feel confident and ready. So let's dive into it. remember the first thing? We have to plan, right? We have to brainstorm a little. And Bitsy, you have to know that as well, so that you know what kind of games you can do. It's a game which is pixel style, basically. So, and here's a little selection of games I chose for you, so that you can have an idea what it can look like. So mostly it's three colors you have, and you can do games from the side, games from a top, and games who are doing something completely different. So when you open it up, uh, it looks like this. And to just get an overview, you have a bar on top where you can have different kinds of windows you can click on. And when you click on them, they open. And then you have something like dialogue options, room, something to paint, and an overview over all your graphics you have. Okay, so this is Bitsy. And we get into it right after we do the second one, which was planning, right? Okay, so the topic for this little thing is now called You Are the Weather, because this is the same topic we use for the official Code Week Jam. If you produce a cool game now in the next couple of minutes, you are welcome to upload it there as well. Yeah, now you have to think about a little bit about the topic, what it can be about, something about the environment maybe, and the easiest thing to come up with a very short idea is if you just think about what kind of elements you have in the game. So you have an avatar. This is your character. You have a world where you can go around. You have maybe others you can meet. You should have a goal, and there need to be some things around. Now you can just have some lines there, whatever. So let me help you with that. I already added some, and basically choose whatever you want in each column. Just choose one word, write them down, and let's see where you land. Okay. So for me, I chose those. So in the game, I will demonstrate to you. My character will be a fisher. In the world, there will be an ocean. There will be some animals, and my goal will be to find a machine. Okay. So at this point, I wait a little bit for you to decide what your game could be about. And if you have a class, every student can now decide in their little groups, 2 people or alone, if everybody has a laptop, what kind of things you want to have. Yeah, that's a good idea, Nair. Just can use the chat. What kind of ideas do you have? So, because we don't have this much time, you shouldn't think too hard about it. I mean, you don't know how to do anything of it for now. So this will be interesting. Don't have big ideas. You just have those couple of minutes, right? So, and can still think about it at the same time. You can go to this website. Yeah, exactly. Called Bitsy. You can either Google it with Bitsy Game Maker or type in this address. Or click on the link in the chat. So everybody should open it now. And don't do anything. I'll give you a little tutorial and gonna let you go. And it will work like this. I show you something, you create on your own, And then I show you something again, and then you create on your own, and we do this 3 times, and then you should be finished, I think. Hopefully. But I think you will manage. Okay, everybody ready? If not, you can still see the link in the chat, and I'm going to switch over to my slide. Green. So, okay. Oh, I think I can't see the chat anymore, can I? Oh, yes, I can. There we go. Cool. So, everybody can see my screen. Yes. Okay, I just hope so. So what we have here is the basic functionality of Etsy. The first thing you notice is you have a big room over here, and you have this find drawing here, paint and dialogue. And of course, if you're international, we are international. You can first off click at settings on the top here, and change the language to whatever language you have. So if you're not this fluent in English, just open your language. For the demonstration here, I will keep it on English. It's maybe easy. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is to have 4 elements. So first is your character. This is called avatar here, and we have to paint it somehow. So my avatar, I told you, should be a fisher. So I'll give him a little head and do it like this. Okay, you just click in here, and if you click the pixel again, it vanishes. Okay, and then you can click in the room to place it somewhere. Right? So the just look and do it afterwards. Afterwards, I want to have tiles. Tiles are things you have in your environment, like a wall. And I have to click on wall to actually make it a wall so that I can't walk through it. Okay, so I think I will have a hut where the fisher lives. And again, I just click in the room to draw with those tiles. What I'm doing is I'm doing a little entry here, and there's a little window there, and let's make a room, maybe a bedroom or something here. Okay, now we have this little room. Moving on to sprite. Sprites are things you can talk to. And normally this is a cat, but I don't want to have a cat in my home. It should be a radio. Let's see if I can come up with a cool radio. Does it look like a radio? Well, yeah, okay, something like it. Maybe. And down here you have a little button called animation. And when you click on that, you have 2 frames, and I'm doing something like this. Now it's getting animated. And you'll also notice a little box called dialogue just above it. And this is what this radio will say when I approach it. This radio should say, attention, there is cables. There is a storm coming. Don't go out. All right? So this is bad, but luckily our fisher has an item. And this item in my story will be something truly great. It will be a weather machine. So I just put it there. And dialogue here as well says, oh nice, I found my weather machine. Very easy. Um, so that's basically all the four important things we need to have at first. And when you click on play on the room, you can actually play it with the keyboards, with the arrow keys. So now you can walk around. I can go to the radio. The radio says, attention, there, oh, forgot the E. There's a storm coming. Don't go out. And when I'm going to the machine, it says, oh, nice, I found my weather machine and I got it now. See? Good. Okay, so now for you. Try to come up with an avatar, some kind of first room, someone to speak to, and something you can grab up. Just develop those. For this, you have like 5-7 minutes, I'd say. It's just the first little screen. And you can do this. Ask me questions in the chat. And at the same time, I'll do some other level as well in preparation for the next one I'm going to show you. So yeah, go ahead and create something on your own. If you need more tiles, you can always click the plus here. Then you can add some. But curious what you guys come up with. I think you're ready. Later on, you can just type in the chat so I'll know you continue. Please take your time. I'm nearly ready with my second screen. You should be ready with your first room. 1 or 2 minutes, maybe. Don't overthink it. Just some nice graphics. For the ones who are a little bit faster, you can always create, like me, a second room as well. That you just have to click the plus under the room and just draw. Oh, I just noticed I have to manually scroll down in the chat window to see once. Oh God, can you do it by phone? Yes, you can do. Okay, thing I noticed. Okay, so last 30 seconds. Finish your room. First one, have an avatar, something to talk to, and some objects together. Struggling? How? The drawing is a bit complicated. You have to get into it. I know. Uh, normally doesn't look uh, the idea you had in mind. Thing you added the smiley behind struggling students that I think means they're struggling in a fun way. Hope. That's how it works. That's why a game jam is so great, because then you have to focus on the very important things and not the details. It's very easy to do, um, go into the details. Think about the game. Okay, and I think those 30 seconds are over, and you can still work on the game, of course, but I want to show you the next step. Um, so I just told you, I already created a second room. The second room is the outside. And remember what the radio said? Don't go outside. But of course, we will go outside. But how will we do that? For that, we need an exit. Exits find in the top menu something called exits and endings. And when you open it, it says there are no exits or endings in this room yet. You can create one. This is, of course, something we want to do. And I click on plus exit. And this little thing here opened just up in my top left corner. I can drag it to where I want to have my exit. I want to have it here in the door. So yeah, I can exit through this door now, but where does it lead? And for that, you can have a look at the exits and endings here. You can see the exit is in this level, and then there will be a return exit. This is in the other world, other room I just created. And when I'm going in this room, you can see my exit here. And I put it, like it, onto the exit from my Fisher hut here. So let's see if it's worked. And I can walk through that door. There we go. I can also go back. Okay. The students, we have a few them do that. Yeah. That's right. So now I know how to connect different rooms, and again, have some time to either finish your room and do it as you want. Or if you finished already, then create a second room and connect those two. Feel free to ask any questions you have. And also write a little okay. If I think you're finished, connected something, then I know where you are. I think I'll add a seagull in the meantime. Seagulls are great. If you're doing something with the ocean, you shouldn't add a seagull. He's doing some sports. Okay. So the next things I'm going to show you are optional. They are a little bit more complicated, but just a little bit. You don't have to follow them. But of course, you should watch so that you know what works. And so maybe you can do them as well. They will just enhance the game you have. I'll start with this in half a minute. Also explain to you what my story idea was. So this fisherman, this weather machine. Okay. I'll show you now the last couple of detailed steps. So I have these two rooms which are connected, right? The outside and the inside. My story should be that the fisherman wakes up, and the radio says, "Oh no, there's a storm, you shouldn't go out." The fisherman has his weather machine. This is great. We have it right here in our flat. But this would be a bit a short game, so we hit from here, clicking on it again. And I want to have, and you have to gather this machine, bring it in, and you have to plug it into some current plug so that it works and then weather should clear up. So right now I can walk to the machine, and that's it. That's not really it. So I need to have something else. And the easiest thing to do programming here is by talking to characters. So I just created this seagull, and seagull can have dialogue, right? As radio has as well. There's this little arrow you can click here. If I click it, there is opening up this whole screen of dialogue options. And I can add dialogue, a list of things, or a conditional. Conditional is the thing I want here. So Seagull says different things. So here it says when item machine is 1. It means when I have a machine, this machine, then the Seagull says something different than when I don't have a machine. So when I don't have the machine, the seagull should say, can you please stop the... When I have the machine, it should say, oh, good. You have to plug in. So, okay, now this is happening. I still need to plug it in, right? So in my flat, I need something else to plug. I would use another sprite for that. Just add this. There we go. Plug now. And that's the same thing. The plug. When I don't have the machine, it just says it's a power plug. When I have the machine, I actually connect it, and then it says the machine is now, how do you say, energized, loaded, okay, something like this. But in order to use this, I have to go to the window. I'll explain to you why. I have to go to window. Okay. I want to have the player by the window because at the window I'll change the weather. And you can do this by changing color. This is something you can use even if you don't do all this level changing ever. So I have this room here, and I copy it. Don't click plus, but duplicate. And same room. Call it room nice, something like this. And the colors should change. As you can see here, there's colors, palette, one palette. Colors, you maybe notice there is a window for that. This is just palette 0, our normal color thing. So you might have here, you have 3 colors available. I can change the background, let's say brownish thing, and all the tiles should be a bit darker. Okay, something like that. Looks nice. But when I want to when I change the weather, I want to have other colors. Okay, so I add another palette. Go to the room with the nice weather. Say, hey, I want this other palette. And nice weather means everything is a bit more clear. Okay, why do I do this? Because now I exit in front of the window. This one is just going in one direction, and it teleports me right here. All right. So the title. Video says storm corner. Plug says power plug. Go out. Seagull says please stop the rain. And go down the boat. Get the machine. On the weather machine. And the seagull now is saying, oh good, you have to plug it in. Then I go inside the flat to the plug. The engine is now energized. I have to go to the window. The reception is best there. Go to the window. Now, ah, now it's sunny again. Okay. This is how you can change appearances by building little exits in between. And the dialogue gives you the option to react to whatever items you have. Basically it. Now you have time again to try to finish your game. Yeah, you can build entire worlds, really big ones. Um, all right, yes, and of course, if you want to actually finish the game, you don't put an exit somewhere, but an ending. There's not just exits, there's ending. And ending I put here when I want to go out again. It just reads whoever cleared up. It is time to fishing. The end. And then the game actually ends at this time. Okay. So let's have a look at the clock. You have a couple of minutes until the time is over. So I hope you learned something already and continue to make a finish there. Obviously, it's very less time to do so. So normally, if you have a bit more time right now after this lesson, I encourage you to actually put some more work into it. But in the end, yeah, exactly. In the end, in the last 5 minutes, in the last 3 minutes, I will explain to you how to export the game, how to make it available for mobile phones, how to upload it somewhere. I'll show you. Got you covered, Niklas. While I wait, I can also do another palette for outside. It's strange that everything is brown on the outside. Mm. Like that. Okay, 1 last minute, and then I'll explain to you how to export the games. Everybody ready so far? You can still take your time. Now I'm going to show you how to export it. Okay, looking in the toolset, where do you think should we click to get the game? One menu called download. And this little window can do two things. It can download your game and can also upload a game. So it's the same file, you download it, it's an HTML file which is already up and running. And the same file you can import again, upload, and then you can edit it. So every game you can see, which you can somehow download, you can look into it, see how it's programmed, and do stuff with it. So how to make them available. When you click download, a little window will open, a couple of seconds, and just says we want to download it. Okay. Yes, of course, we want to download our game. And then it should be in your downloads. There we go. Just downloaded it, grab a machine. And when I open this one in my browser again, you'll notice that I will not have the editor around the game. Why is it so slow? But the actual game. So you can do with this HTML file whatever you want. There we go. And make it available on the website of school or WordPress or wherever, and then you can play it full screen like this. At the same time, it's already configured to work on mobile phones. So on mobile phones, you can open it and you go swiping with the finger to for the direction of the character. Some questions incoming. Oh, okay. So a cool thing to do with those kind of games is if you upload them in the official site on itch.io for the Code Week Game Jam. You can have this link as well here in the chat. Let me just paste it. And this is basically what we just did. Also have some more tools here I talked about earlier and some resources to do this. And the only thing you need to do to upload your game there is to join the jam. Click this button here, and then you can create a free account, upload the game, and it will be available for everybody to see during the Code Week. If you have any more questions about it, just write me here. I'll be online a little bit longer. Write me on Twitter, or just look up the resources in the jam. Yeah, I hope you learned something. Obviously, I know it's very fast to do something like this for the first time, but just give it 30 minutes more and you'll get the hangs and actually finish a game. If you're not already finished a game, this would be interesting. You can just write here in the chat how far you got. It's a nice feedback because we can see your screens, obviously. And yeah, this would be it for me. Now we can have question time. Okay, first one. Can you also check other people's games on the Game Jam page? Yes, you can. So right now on the Game Jam page, there are 0 entries because we just started. But when you have other entries, you can see them, and will be that after October, the complete November will be for rating the game. So everybody could see all the games which are online there, and you can rate them for the graphics, the story, whatever. So you can see where your games stand. Second question there. What teachers can bring this to the classroom? What is subject they teach? Teachers. So actually, those kind of jams, those game designs, I use it for all kinds of topics. So right now we tried to do a little game about the environment in this couple of minutes. But usually I did some very big jams about democracy with them. So people had to explain a topic which is really important for them to someone else through a computer game. This was kind of interesting, but it also works, of course, for more school topics like learning something in biology or geography, or of course the language you want to learn. So because you have to write a lot, it's more like an interactive fiction with visuals. I shared a game. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Let me see how I do that. I think I have to. Where's this will be connecting? I have to stop sharing my screen, but sure, I will do that. And post it in the Facebook group. I can. I can also share it here, right? Is this possible that everybody can download it then? Yeah. Yeah, okay. I do it in the Facebook group. So, mm, so this one.
Just joining in quickly. I don't think we've ever done that before, so I'm not sure
Oh,
if that works. So that they can
see.
download from here.
Yeah.
Better to include a link and then or share it on Facebook. Yeah. So let's see if there are any other questions coming in. Otherwise, we can wrap up soon. If you have nothing else to share, Matt.
Enjoyed the game. Oh, that's your question. Ask it.
It's Naid is asking, have you enjoyed the game? Okay, thanks, Naid.
Yeah.
But yes, we will also post a recording of this remote lesson on Facebook and on the MOOC live events page, so everyone will be able to access it. And if you want to take it more slowly, you can do it step by step, stopping the recording, or if you want to do it faster, you can um, just skip some sections, so you can do it at your own pace and replicate what Matt has been doing in
Yeah.
the last hour. Okay, so if there are no more questions, then I want to thank you very much for doing this session with us, Matt.
Yeah.
It's
It's a pleasure.
for me, it's been a pleasure. I hope it's been also for you. And yes, hope to see you all soon
Yeah.
again.
So
And good luck
everybody
with the game jam.
upload your game if you have one. It was fun to teach you. If it was too fast, again, look to the slides. There's also a tutorial right inside Bitsy if you click about. And I'm super curious to see what you come up with during the code week. So have fun doing what you do.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you,
Bye bye.
everyone. Goodbye.